Welcome back to PowerPoint amigos. So I hope you have a better understanding of tables now, and you understand data model relationships, you understand filter directions, you know what we mean by cardinality, many to many, one to one. So now let's move on to functions. And DAX is mostly about using functions. Most of the formulas you write, you have to make use of functions. You rarely write the kind of calculated column formula we wrote the other time, where we just said equals to sales minus profits. Most times we will have to use functions, especially when we are creating tables and when we are writing measures. So the thing about functions is we most likely will be familiar with functions already, but it is worth restating that most functions usually have arguments, but unlike what you have in Excel, where function argument is mostly about cells, either you pick a cell or you highlight a cell or something similar. Here in DAX, function arguments always ask for things like column or table, because we are working with tables, or they ask for expression or a filter. Sometimes they have arguments that are optional. Now, you need to also understand that functions can be classified based on two things. I mentioned that earlier. Either you classify based on their results, of which there are two types of results that a function can return. As a matter of fact, a complete DAX expression formula you write can return two types of things. Either it returns a single value or it returns a table. Single value or table. So if you return a single value, that's what we call a scalar expression or a scalar function. If it returns a table, we call that a table function. And you can also classify functions based on their purpose. Purpose in terms of, does this function relate with statistics, or is it a financial function? Does this function work strictly on dates? It helps us to manipulate dates. Or do we classify this function as a group of functions that we can use to manipulate text, and so on and so forth. So DAX contains a lot of functions really, and first of all, you can't know it all, and secondly, you can't use it all. You only have to make use of the 20% that performs 80% of what you need to do. So it's always like that. Only 20% will always perform 80%. So the kind of coding that I have used here is all of the functions that appear in yellow. I hope that's really yellow because men are colorblind, but I see this as yellow. So all of those ones you see as yellow are the functions that return single values, and those ones you see in blue, I hope that is blue, are the kind of functions that return tables. So we are going to take a look at some, not all of these functions, and by the time we are done, you will have a clearer understanding of how DAX works. So just having to work with a bit of the functions will basically lead you to better understanding of the whole DAX formula engine entirely.